Hi guys, welcome to Linux YouTube channel. My name is Ram Mishra and I'm your online instructor. So what's new in this video? In this video we will talk about while loop in shell script. But before start the lab session we need to understand few points, which is what is while loop and how it's useful in shell scripting. While loop is fundamental control structure in bash scripting that allows you to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as certain condition is true. The while loop is an essential tool in any bash programmer's toolbox, and it's used to automate your tasks, performing operations on collection of data, and implement complex algorithms. In bash scripting, while loop can be used to perform a wide variety of tasks such as reading and processing files, generating reports, querying database, and interacting with the users. This kind of loop are often used in combination with the other bash control structures such as conditional structure, conditional statement like if, else, and other loop for until to implement complex algorithm and script. So in this demo, we will explore the basic syntax of while loop in the bash and examine how they can be used to automate tasks and implement complex kind of algorithms. We will also cover some common use cases and best practice for working with the while loop and go with some example of how to use while loop to solve real world problems. So let's do the lab session and we'll see how we can use while loop in shell script. So here you can see I'm on my Linux terminal and let me show you the OS release version. So this is RHEL 9.3. Let's start with the first step, which is syntax of while loop command. So if you go with the documentation, I say help while. Look at this is the syntax. While commands do command done. So this will show you built-in help for a while loop in bash. Let me explain this code in a very simple format. So let me go on my notepad and let me write down the simple syntax. So this is syntax. So here let me explain line by line. This is the while and then inside the bracket condition is true. So here code start for while loop with the specific condition in square bracket. The loop continues executing as long as this condition is true. Then we have a do mark the beginning of the loop body. Then we have a command a statement to be executed in each iteration of the loop. And finally we have done indicates the end of the loop body. So the script returns to the loop to the while loop, re-evaluates the condition and continues looping if the condition is still true. So in short, we can say the condition is evaluated before the loop executed. The loop body executes only if the condition is true, and the loop continues until the condition becomes false. This is the concept of this syntax. So let's make some while loop script to understand how it's really helpful in shell script. We will start with the first case, which is while loop to iterate for a fixed number of time. So we can use a while loop to iterate over a fixed number of time. We can set the condition to be less than or equal to a number, and the loop will iterate till the iteration is less than or equal to the number provided in the condition. So first we will create a text file using text editor in Linux. In this case I'm going to go with vim text editor. You can go with anyone. I'll say vim demo.sh. Name could be anything, extension should be .sh if it is shell script. Okay, this is completely blank. Let me go on my notepad. I'll start with my first script. I'll copy, I'll paste, and let me try to explain this code for all of you. Okay, so let me go line by line. The first one is we know very well bin bash. This is the line is known as shebang, indicate the path to the interpreter that should be used to execute the script. In this case, it is specified that the bash shell should be used. In the next line, script. This one basically prompt here prompt the user to type the name greater than 5, right? And then it's read that's input into the variable. Uh, it's a variable called number with read command. Then next, while greater than number is greater than 5, Start a while loop that continues as long as the value of number is greater than 5. Then in the next line we have do. So mark the beginning of the block code and to be executed within the while loop. Then next line, echo current number is dollar number. So this print the current value of the variable number to the console, and then number is equal to dollar double round bracket number minus 1 decrements the value of number variable by 1. And finally we have done. Mark the end of the code block for the while loop. And finally echoing again, loop finished. So it print loop finish to the console after the while loop has completed. So let's make this script executable and run it. So I'll go command chmod command plus x demo.sh, and time to run. I'll go demo.sh. Please type name number greater than 5. So I type 10. Current number is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and finally loop finish. So in summary, this script initializes a variable number with the value whatever user provide, then enters a while loop that continues as long as variable value is greater than 5 within the loop. If you can check it from here, and it prints the current value of variable value and decrements it by 1 in each iteration. Once variable value becomes 5 or less, the loop exists and the script prints loop finish to the console. So this is the thing happened here, right? Let's take another very common example, which is reading a file with while loop, right? So we can read a file with the while loop in the bash by passing certain parameters to the while loop condition. We can iterate over the file line by line or by other group like characters or word. So let me modify my script again to demonstrate this part, right? So I clean out everything from here. I'll open one more time, and again I'll go back with my notepad for next script. I'll copy, paste it here, save it. Now let me explain again. The first line is shebang. Then we prompt the user for input. Please enter your file name you want to read. So this prints a message and asking the user to enter the name of the file. Then read file name again, right? So suppose your file name is myfile.txt. So it's assuming that file myfile.txt exists with some content, right? And store it is in the variable name file name. Then while read hyphen r line, next one, line number 4. So initiate a while loop that reads each line from the specified file, read it one line at a one time, and store each line in the new variable name line. This is the another variable, right? Then do process, start the process, and then we have echo dollar line. So echo dollar line print the contents of the variable line, which represent the current line being read from the file to the console, and then done input redirection dollar file name. So this redirects the input of while loop or of the while loop to come from the specific file. In this case, in my case, I'll go with any file, like for example etc host file, right? So in summary, what happened, we can say this script read each line from the file, it could be anyone, and prints it to the console until there are no more lines left in the file. And here hyphen r option with the read command is used to ensure that the backslash in the input are treated as literal character, right? So let's run the script. Demo.sh. Please enter your file name you want to read. I said etc, let it be go etc host. The moment I press enter, see, I got the result. So this is how we can read the content of the file using while loop in bash. I hope this is clear, right? Let's take one more example, which is writing to a file using a while loop. So how you can write it? We can write to a file by using input in a while loop also. We can use the while loop to iterate till we manually exit out of the loop using Control D by saving changes to the file. We use read command to input the text from the command line and parse it to the file. So again, let me modify my script and let's go for one more example, writing to a file using while loop. Again, I'll copy and this time I'll paste it. Let's try one more time. Same as usual, the first line is shebang. The second line is display a prompt asking the user to enter the name of the file he wants to create, right? Then in the next, I use read file. So the next line reads the user input and store it in the variable named file here. So again, we have a new variable name file. If the file does not already exist, it will create it automatically when you write to it, right? Then in the next line here we are echoing and inform the user to start typing the content that will go into the file. And here dollar file is the name file name provided earlier, right? Then we started while read hyphen r line. Next line, it's begun a loop that read lines from the standard input until the user press Ctrl D. Each line the user types is stored in the new variable name, again line here, and then do echo dollar line appending dollar file. This append the line to the file specified by dollar file, right? Dollar file is my variable here. And then finally we successfully end files created successfully, right? So let's try to run it again. I'll say demo.sh, right? Please enter your file name you want to create. Okay, I said /etc yahoo.txt. Okay, enter the content into the file etc yahoo.txt, press Ctrl D to finish. Hi, this is my first file using while loop. Thanks. Ctrl D, file created successfully. Let's go and check etc yahoo.txt. Yep, the entry is there. So here you can see we are able to enter a text into the file using while loop and read command with the help of read command, right? So let's take another example, which is while loop with comparison operator. We can comparison, right? Comparison between different operators. So we will start with the basic, like using operators as condition to perform certain tasks. So let us go again, modify the script. Let me take one more example. So this is basically while loop with the comparisons operator, right? Again, so the first line is shebang. Then in the next two lines, this echo and read. Using echo, we prompt the user to enter the first number, and with the help of read command, we store it in the variable a. Then again in the next two lines, again echoing, we prompt the user to enter the second number, and with the help of read command, we store in the variable b. Then in the next line, while loop begin, right here on line number 6, and that will I run as long as a is less than or equal to b. Again in the next two line, which echoing and print the current value of a and then increments by 2, a plus 2, and finally we end the loop. So let's run it and see how it works. So that's my script. Let it be go. Demo.sh. Please type the first number less than 10. Okay, I said 8. And then type second number greater than 10. Okay, I'll go with 16. So this time 8 plus 12 plus 8 plus 10, 12, 14 and 16. That's good. So here you can see what script does overall. It asks for two number. A, it's a starting number, should be less than 10. B, ending number should be greater than 10. Then it loops from the first number to the second, increasing by 2 each time, and it prints each value of a as it goes, right? So this is how we can use it. Very important part, which is um, here while loop with the compression operator, right? Let's take one more example, which is waiting for a file to be appear in Linux. In many real world scenario, a script may need to wait for the another process, script or user to create a file before it can continue. It could be log file, it could be process file, anyone. The while loop is used to keep checking until the file is exist or not, then start the next process. So let me demonstrate this again. I'll modify my file and I'll go with one more simple script. Yeah, that's one. Here. So basically this script waits for a specific file, currently for tam hello.txt, right? It's to be created, and once it's available, then it prints a confirmation message. So if I'm trying to explain by the line, the first is shebang. Then the second line, there is a variable named target underscore file having the value temp hello.txt that defines the file the script is waiting for. Here it's temp hello.txt. Next line, I'm echoing print a message so the user knows the script is watching for the file, right? So waiting for this file to be created. Then the next line, while loop started. And the loop continuously check for the existence of temp hello.txt and only processed when it's found. So you will notice here f dollar target file. This test if variable dollar target file refers to an existing regular file, not a directory, device, or symbolic link. It returns true if the file exists and it's regular file. And then I use not hyphen f. So this means not. So not hyphen f target file returns true if the file does not exist or is not a regular file. So in the next line, I use a sleep command, sleep 2. It waits for 2 seconds between the checks to avoid constantly checking, save the CPU. And the last line we finally echoing one more time. Once the loop ends, the file exists, the message is printed. Simple. So in short, this loop continuously check for the existence of temp new file.txt and only process when it's found. Sleep command prevents unnecessary CPU uses during the waiting time, right? So let's run it. Demo.txt. Now you will notice it's wait for temp hello.txt to be created. So to finish this part, what I need to do, I need to open a quickly a new terminal and I start touch. I go temp hello hello.txt. The moment I press enter, now you will notice done. This is what condition true. I got this. So this is how you can use this. Let's take one more example. Countdown timer with the while loop. Countdown timer using a while loop script that counts down from a given number to the zero, showing the time left at each step, usually with a short pause like 1 second between each count. So let me modify again, and I'll go with this one more important and very interesting script. So now let's try to understand this one. So here you can see the first line is as usual my shebang. Next, in the next two lines, using echoing, we prompt the user to enter the count number. And with the help of read command, we store it in the variable name count, right? Here's the count variable. Then while loop started. While dollar $count greater than zero, it means loop runs while count is greater than zero. Then echo dollar countdown count prints the current countdown number. Then I use sleep 1, wait for 1 second, then count is equal to dollar double round bracket count minus 1, decrease the count by 1, and finally echo times up message after the countdown end. So let's see what happens if I run this demo.sh. Please type first number of the countdown. So I said suppose 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. this is how it's working. So we have many common use cases to use countdown script, like whatever I have created here. This. So like delay action, give the user time to cancel. Simply trimmer, simply you can simply timers in the script also. Waiting before retrying an operation, creating progress effects. So these are the so those kind of environment we can use this countdown script, right? So guys, this is how we can use while loop in the Linux shell script. So finally, we are in the conclusion that you have used while loop in the bash to evaluate specific condition and continuously execute tasks or command. The while loops are important when evaluating user input variables or multiple conditions to achieve a specific result. That's all about this demo. Thank you for taking the time with me, and I hope that it has improved your understanding of the topic. Hopefully, you enjoyed and learned new things. Soon, I will come up with another new interesting topic. Till then, keep practicing. If you feel something I have missed or you wanted to know more something else, please reach out to me through my social media link, which is mentioned in the description. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon button for the latest update. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and